Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Skip, aka Skip and Tosh, here at the Sacktown Breakdown. Coming to give y'all a live one, a hot one of them hot takes, them hot boys. We got some hot boys in the building. You know this hot boy. Hey, yo, Tap, say what's up.
What's going on, everybody? We're about to pop off with the interview right now. I'm pretty excited.
There he is. And my man Yusuf Scarbz is in the building as well. Yusuf, go ahead and say what up.
What's good, everybody? Thanks for tuning in.
Extra special guest, Yusuf Scarbz in the house of the Sacramento Kings Guard here with y'all. And this is our special guest. This is going to be a very special episode. We have been stating for a while that there could be a surprise guest coming on from the Kings Guard, and we got one of them in here today, and we're gonna dive in. But before we do, I wanted to just take a second to say thank you to Yusuf, because he's a very busy man with a very busy schedule. And I know we see these figures in the public and we thinking, oh, they can just do whatever in this, but they real people like us. They go through real happy moments and real lows as well. So we always want to be appreciative whenever they take the time to come through and bless us with their presence. So from me and Tap here at the Sacktown Breakdown, thank you so much, Yusuf, for being here with us. We really appreciate it, man.
I appreciate you and having me, man. I'll do it anytime, for real. Like, I'm down to do this again too, man. Appreciate you guys.
Good, man. It's good to hear that, because we about to have you come back tomorrow for the next show.
I'm down. I'm down to do it, man. Come on.
Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. My man Yusuf, Mr. Calm that boy down himself. Calm that man down himself is here with us.
Calm you down, boy. That's my famous line.
Hey, I'm gonna calm you down, boy. Hey, and before we launch into it, because we know there's accolades like all defensive team, because you was really calming them boys down. But before we jump into all that, we wanted to give you an opportunity, man. Being here, a lot of people are curious. How does one get into the league? What does it take? But we're real people. So, bro, like, what's your story? In a few minutes, what's your story? And then how did your story get you to where you are today in the league?
Well, I'll simplify a little bit because it's a long story. But,
okay.
I'm 26 years old. I'm from Toronto, Canada. Graduated from 2 different colleges, about to graduate from a university for criminology. I'm trying to get my bachelor's degree. I got like 3 courses left, so I'm gonna get that in January. I've wanted to become a police officer. That's like my main goal in life.
Nice.
To become a police officer. I lived in this troubled neighborhood my whole life, so I've been a basketball player. And so like my whole life I try to play basketball. There's like I lived in a troubled neighborhood where there's a lot of like gangsters and drugs and a lot of violence around the neighborhood. So as a kid growing up, my parents would say, stay inside, you're not allowed to play outside, because they wanted me to get away from the bad stuff that's going on outside. But I was just trying to play the sport, basketball. So,
right.
You know what? I took that love of basketball to 2K. So I'm like, you know what? I can't play outside, let me just play inside. So I fell in love with the game with 2K. I started in 2K9, and then I was good at the game in 2K, from 2K9 onwards. And then 2K17 came out with the 250K tournament. I qualified for that tournament. We were one of the 16 teams that qualified, and then we lost in the second round, unfortunately. But then in 18, that's when the league was announced for the first year. And then, I was like, you know what, I'm good enough. I feel like I'm good enough to to make the league, and there was I think 72,000 people that tried out.
Whoa.
And they only took 102 players. So to get into the league, you have to go through. I think the first year was 50 games requirements. You got to play either Pro-Am or Rec Center.
Okay.
During the first year, the second year was 100, up to 100 games. So I don't know what's going to be this year. And after that, the process was to go through the combine, and then the combine was where you would load up at any position 1 through 5, and you would play with 4 random. The build would load you up with 4 random people that you've never played with, and you have to be able to work together as a team and get the W, and make sure you have a good usage rate and make sure you have a good win percentage. And I think the minimum game that you had to play was 40 games. So 40, it was 40 games year 1. I think year 2 they dropped it to 25. So some guys like, I think Strainer went from the Cavs. I think he went like 37-3. So
Whoa,
he made the league.
What?
You know, he had a great record playing with random people, going 37-3. That's a really good record. You know.
Yeah, that is.
So yeah. So that's the process of making through the league, and then like there's once you get through the combine, they're gonna put you in a pool. They cut it down to like 250 players, and then you get an interview with the NBA, and then they cut it down to 150. So after the interviews, they're gonna cut 100 players. So after all that combine stuff, you're not even 100% sure that you're gonna be in. You still got to go through an interview, and they cut 100 players. And then once you're in the pool, now the draft starts, and then they take 150 players. They'll take, I think like there was 50. I think there was like 52 spots, I think, this past year. And there was like 195 players that were available. So I'd say like a third of players got picked out of the pool. So it's a big competition. Like you gotta be able to perform, stream, showcase your skill throughout the year to show that you're good enough to play. And then the hard part is making the pool, but once you make the pool and you showcase your talent while streaming prior to the combine and stuff, then they'll pick you up. And that's what happened with me with the Kings. I had to, I was playing with the Raptors year 1, right. And I was a pure sharp. I had a different role over there. I was just a shooter, and then they let go of me because pure sharps are really like role players. They're not really. They weren't like looked to like score the ball like that. So, the role players are really like expandable. They let me go. They didn't keep me. So I worked on my game during the off season. I didn't need to go through the combine. I just had to finish the games because I was part of the league last year. So all I had to do was play the game. And then now, and here I am. I went through a whole season with the Kings, 5th seed. We lost first round to the Timberwolves. I made an all defensive team, which was a great accolade to have. Made playoffs 2 years in a row.
Calming them boys down.
Yeah, and that's my story right there.
And that's incredible, man. That's incredible.
Yeah, that's crazy. They really like put you guys to a strainer about 100 times to get like the most talent they can.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Well, shoot, man. Well, thank you so much for kind of sharing the story, like where you're from and, how you got here. And that's crazy. I have family in law enforcement as well. My mother is actually, she's a warden at a prison. Wow. And I have a few family members that are like COs. I have some family members that are actually on law enforcement, police department as well. So that's cool, awesome. Man, that, that they're going that route. I'm sure my main man, Tap, he was asking me some questions earlier, and I was like, you know what, those are really good questions for Yusuf. So I'll let Tap go ahead and start with the first question of the day.
All right, so I guess in your little explanation there, you said that you were a pure sharp when you played for the Raptors. Do you
Yeah.
play a different position now? Do you play like multiple positions, like switch positions from time to time? Like, so what exactly is your position now?
So do you mean now, as in
Or like
uh
last year
this
with the Kings guard?
the Kings? Okay, so with the Kings, I played rim sharp, rim protector primary. So that build, uh, we used it at the four to play
Okay.
the pick and roll defense. So, cause centers are 7'1" and power forwards are 6'11". So I was at the power forward spot with the rim protecting sharp. My job on the team was to play defense, to calm the other team down, shut down the best pick and roll defenders, and I mean offensive players. Sorry, and me and Zachy had to work together, and I had to shut the paint down, and my job was to shoot efficiently in the corner, creating space for BP on offense. My job on offense wasn't that hard. It's just to sit in the corner and hit my shots.
And so, do you ever switch positions, or are you always that same power forward, 6'11"?
Yeah, I was this year in the league. I've always played rim sharp, but in the retail version, I play center. So
Okay.
they drafted, yeah. So playing center helped me play pick and roll defense, because in the retail version of the 2K19, centers play pick and roll defense, right? So
Yeah.
got drafted because of my shooting capabilities and my defensive capabilities. And in the retail version, I played center. I played rebounding sharp. So I usually like pick and pop. I'm more like a Carl Anthony Towns type of player. Like
Okay.
yeah. So I like to pop, shoot the three ball a lot. I was first in the league in 3-point percentage, by the way. I
Wow.
didn't want to. Yeah,
Hey.
yeah. I was first in 3-point percentage, so I like to shoot. That's my game, shooting the rock. That's why the Raptors put me on the pure sharp, because I was a good shooter, right? And yeah, so uh, yeah, the rim protector. A lot of, I think, like half the teams in the league ran that build. That build's really efficient. The centers wouldn't guard the pick and roll. They would be in the corner. They would come and grab the rebound once the rim protector made them miss. So it's a really important role to have, because some teams are really pick and roll reliant. Like Radiant, for example, he's one of the best point guards. The Timberwolves, they won with the rim sharp because they had a rim sharp also. So that build is really important towards the team.
For
Absolutely,
sure.
absolutely. All right, let's see. I'll throw one at you. So, what's the most what was the most surprising thing about being a part of the league? Um, let's reference more in your first season, because the second season kind of like less surprising. So in your first season when you were playing for the Raptors, your home team, where you from? What was the
Yeah,
most surprising thing just about being in the league?
man, the most surprising thing was, like, I didn't know a lot of people knew about the league, because honestly, people were coming up to me and they're like, yo, you're Yusuf Scarbz? I'm like, yeah, that's me, And then they're like, yo, like, I had a couple guys like in Toronto. I wouldn't say much in Sacramento, but in Toronto, like, I had guys come up to me and say, yo, like, let me take a picture with you. And like
Wow.
like that's crazy. Like, I feel like I'm a regular person. Like, I'm, like, I'm just playing video games, just playing 2K. Having kids come up to you, and even guys that are like almost same age as me, coming up to me saying, "Yo, I know you. Like, I've seen you play 2K, and I play basketball right now in the gym. Like 3 days ago, I was hooping, and then a guy came up to me saying, "Yo, you're Yusuf Scarbz. You're from the 2K." I'm like, "Yeah," and then like he noticed me. He's like, "Yo, like, you hooped this year for the Kings, man. Good job." I'm like, "Holy, like, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
That is crazy.
It's crazy how, like, you would think that the 2K League, I don't know, it's just shocking to me. That I'd say. Also, what else is shocking to me was, like, how, like, you're so close to the organization. Like Skip can tell you also, like, he had a tour with at the Golden One Center, and
Mhm.
like I had a tour at in year one. I was with the Raptors, so I went to the Air Canada Center. That's what it was called before. It's called Scotiabank Arena now. But I
Mhm.
had a tour. I've never been to the Scotiabank Arena before, so like I've never been to a Raptors game prior to that. So it's like going to the arena that I've lived. I've lived in Toronto like most of my life, and then going to the arena, getting a tour like that, it was like it's crazy, you know. I was like, man, I got to shoot hoops there, you know. It was
It's just the
awesome. It was an awesome
opportunities
feeling.
that you get just from playing a game.
Exactly.
You're like, wow.
hmm Exactly.
What
Incredible, man. Yeah,
so
on you, Tap, on you.
when you when 2K comes out and it's time for you to get to grinding, how does that work in case people don't know, in terms of like in your 2K league, do you guys have set builds that you have to use, or like how does it, because if it's competitive, obviously if you're playing, somebody might think, oh, they just all play with their my players, and but how would that work if somebody was a 91 overall my player playing against an 85 in a competitive circuit? So how does that work? Do you guys all have the same build that you have to use, at each position, or how does that work
hmm
for someone that wouldn't know?
Okay, so in the league, they got 5 preset builds for every position. They
Okay.
have the same wingspan, the same height, same weight, same everything physically. So you don't have an advantage over the other person.
Okay.
So so if you were, there's 5 different builds. So let's say for example, I'm gonna give out an example at the power forward position, the position that I run. So at the 5 position, I mean the 5 preset builds would be post shot creator, rebounding sharp, rim sharp, two-way athletic, and I forgot the last one. It might be some, I don't know, but it was one build that nobody used. I forgot the fifth one, but it was probably a build that nobody used. But yeah. So they all have the same height. So it's based off. It's like chess. It's like, okay, the other point guard has, they run pick and roll a lot. They're like, let's say for example, we play the Sixers. They got a great point guard. They got a point guard that could like really score. You know what? We're gonna put defense on the court. All right, and then let's say that for example they got a great center. We're gonna put
Okay.
more rebounding on the court. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
So you could like strategize for every team. You could pick and choose. But most top teams, they had great point guards, so I had to use the rim protecting sharp, right? But to answer your question, everyone's a 90 overall. So there's no advantages towards anybody. Everyone's the same height, same weight, at their respective positions. So there's no advantage to anybody. It's just
So
based off skill.
just to clarify, you can switch between each one of those 5 different builds between each game.
Yeah, between each game, yes.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah. So one
Interesting.
game you
Okay.
might, yeah. So one game you might be like, okay, this point guard is good. Okay, next game you're like, okay, this point guard, he's not really gonna score. Let me get some rebounding in, or you know what?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So stuff like that. You just strategize, right? So
Makes sense.
yeah.
Dope, very dope. Okay, so back to the squad. I'm gonna throw this one out. I asked this one when you unfortunately weren't there. For personal reasons. That's always my favorite reason. Like when there's a DNP, like in the NBA, and like you see
Yeah.
someone did not play, and it's like personal reasons. I'm always like, I like that
Yeah, it's
one.
like, what happened? Everybody's like, oh, what happened? Well, they're
It's
freaking out.
nondescript.
Yeah.
But okay. So who is the funniest player on the Kingsguard team? Who be having you like weak, like busting up, laughing like all the time?
Ooh, funniest guy on the team?
Yeah.
I'm sure the other guys would have said myself, but
Actually,
the other
some people
guys
I
would have
think
said
did say
myself.
you
But
too. Mm-hmm.
yeah, because the way I am as a guy. But yeah, we're not gonna speak on that. But Um, I'd say either it's gotta be Wasim, man. Wasim is hilarious. Wasim or Big Colt, Worthington Colt. One of those two. One of those two. It's a hard choice. One of those two.
Dude, Colt is hilarious to me. Like he's so big and jolly.
Yeah.
He's almost like Santa Claus, except he hands
Yeah.
out L's to other teams,
He's a
and he
big, yeah. You should like one day we were flying to New York, and then like an attendant came up and said, "You're a big teddy bear. The way you laugh," and I was just laughing. 'Cause you see, you know the laugh I'm talking about, Skip. You know the laugh I'm talking about.
I do.
Yeah, you know the laugh I'm talking about. He has
I
that
dropped
laugh.
Colt off.
It's just funny. It's just contagious.
It is,
That's
bro. You
crazy.
can't help but to
Yeah,
like laugh with him. I dropped him off at the
yeah,
airport after the season was over, and we was up
yeah.
there. It was like there was some serious situations, so things were a little tight. And I remember I said some sort of joke. Homeboy started busting up, and I swear it was almost
Yeah.
like everybody else in line didn't even know what I said, but they started laughing too. It was hilarious.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my gosh,
that's
man.
my
Okay,
guy.
okay. So we're see the thing about Seam though is like I was questioning that because seems like he would be funny, but he's kind of quiet though. Like Colt
You
is
see,
like all out there. Like Seam must be like slick
yeah,
and sly with it.
yeah. The thing is though, like if Siem knows you, he'll like open up to you. He's more of a quiet guy, but once he knows you, he'll joke around with you. He'll open up to you. But Colt's like he's not shy at all. Like he'll just open up to anybody. Like he'll just be himself all the time, no matter where he's
Absolutely.
at.
Nope.
Yeah.
There's no off switch for Colt.
There's no off switch for Colt. Yeah.
This is a question because the 2K20 comes out what 9 days from now, right? I think
Yep.
it's like 9 days from
Around.
now.
I think yeah. Around.
What's
Yeah.
the first thing a professional player does with the new 2K? He has it in his hands. It's still in the wrapping. He puts it in his PlayStation or Xbox, whatever.
Hmm.
What does he do with it? What is the first thing you're doing on the new 2K when it comes out?
First thing I do before I make a build is go to All Star Team Up and see. Like I'm gonna use Shaq. Like I'm gonna use a position that I use like power forward or center, and then
Okay.
I'm gonna use Shaq for example. I'm gonna see if is the paint like hard to score on. Okay, so if the paint's hard to score on, I'm gonna make a shooting build. If the paint's easier to score on, then I'm gonna make an inside build. Like for
Okay.
example, in 19, you would miss wide open layups. Like to me, the paint was, it was hard to like score in the paint.
Yeah.
It was hard to score in the paint. So I made a rebounding sharp because first day I played team up, I said you could just put your hands up and then a guy would miss. Like a point guard would block a center. I'd be like, what? Like what's going on? So a lot of people, and you see like the champs, the Timberwolves, they use the rebounding sharp because it creates space, and the paint wasn't that you would miss easy layups. So the first thing I do is team up, then make my build off of based on my analysis on team up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna throw a two-parter at you. Um, I'm gonna throw the more serious one out first, and then like the funner one after that. All right. So the
All right.
first one is, what are some of the sacrifices that you guys have to make as players in the league that people don't think of?
You gotta move into your respective organization. You gotta stay away from your family for almost 5 to 6 months. Um, this year we were blessed to have bye weeks, so we got to see them a little bit for a couple days. But yeah, staying away from them. Some guys get homesick, and then stuff like that, and then some guys they haven't lived by themselves, ever in their life. So it's like you would have to teach them uh stuff, that living by yourself is not easy, especially away from or when you've been around your family your whole life and stuff. So I had to teach them a couple of things, because I was the oldest on the team, so I had to teach guys a couple of things.
Old
But yeah,
man Yusuf.
old man Yusuf, yes, indeed.
Calming them boys
26
down.
old man. I'm the old, I'm the old head of the team. I don't look like it though. I don't look like it. But hey, I am the old head.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like if I had to think of who would be the oldest person on the team, and I know some people would
Yeah.
probably go to Colt because he's the biggest. I would actually say Zachy because he's hecka buff. He
That's
what I
got
was
that
gonna
big
say,
old
too.
beard. You still gonna say Zachy Tap?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the first
Yeah.
thing I thought of. I was like, it was probably Zachy.
Yeah, especially when he wears the glasses too. Zachy lightweight looks like someone on the team's dad sometimes.
Yes.
Zachy
Him
was
and
my
our
homie.
coach look the same. Everyone would be like, "Yo, is that your coach?" I'm like, "No, that's a player," because they both had the orange beard.
Bro, I
They both had
forgot
the orange beard.
that I didn't even realize because they didn't even sit that close together. But it's true, Zachy and Coach, bro, they do
Yeah.
look similar.
They
Oh,
do.
Yeah.
snap.
Wow.
Yeah, they had the
Okay,
same orange beard.
and everything. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay, and then my second part of my question, this one is more a little lighter. Who is the best player on the team? Controversial. Now look. I already know a lot of people could easily be like, Kurt, you're an idiot. Did you not watch the season? Obviously, it's BP.
Yeah.
But this is the Sacktown Breakdown, where you give your opinions, facts, whatever. So, Yusuf, you could even say you're the best player on the team. This is your open floor on the Sacktown Breakdown, baby. So you tell me, who is the best 2K player on the Sacramento Kings guard?
Oh, that's a tough one because
Mhm.
everybody played their part. To be honest,
Real talk.
like as BP, he brings in the offense. There's some games he wouldn't, but
Right.
he was an MVP candidate.
Right.
Zachy played defense.
Oh, yeah. Zachy was
and
locking
he would hit
down
his shots. He was like top 8 in 3-point percentage.
them corner threes.
He had a couple game winners.
Yeah, he
too.
did. So
Yeah,
did Seam, too.
Yeah, Wasim too. Like I said, like I'm telling you, Skip. Like everyone did their job this year.
Real
Like
talk.
Cole was 15 rebounding. Like we had a good, solid team. So to point out whoever was the best, I'm gonna say BP because of his usage rate. He would have the
Okay.
ball in his hands most of the time.
Right.
But who knows? Like if you take one of us away, who knows how the team would be? You know what I'm saying?
Real talk. Real talk. And
So
to make a point of it, too, we went from winning only 3 games. I think it was only like 2 or 3 games the first season to we were third seed majority of the season, and then we made it to the playoffs. So you're right.
Yeah.
You take away one piece, man, and we go from, only winning a few games, you know what I mean, to like where we are now with all the pieces to who knows what after. So that's a real good point.
exactly. Yeah, I think it was 4 games, by the way. I think it was 4. Yeah.
4
It
games.
was
Okay, I
4.
got
They
you.
were. Yeah, the Kings were last, and then they were fifth. We were fifth this year. So
Yeah.
it's a big jump. And it's a great successful season. Like don't get me wrong. Like I got first rounded 2 years in a row, and it's frustrating.
Right.
Because I feel like the team, especially with the team we had, I felt like we could have went all the way. And we had the close. If you've watched the Timberwolves played the whole entire playoffs, we had the closest game in game 3. I mean, in game 2.
Yep.
Like in game 2, like if we won game 2, because we switched our lineup. Because I went to the 3. If
Yeah.
we went to game 3 with that lineup.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm telling you, we would have won. I had a feeling we would have won because losing the game and forcing game 3, like momentum's like you have the momentum
Right.
because you're the one that won last.
Yep. Mhm.
Yeah.
So who knows? Like I felt. Oh man, I'm having nightmares right now. That game. Yeah. But
Bro, I
that's the
feel
first
you
time
though.
I've ever used the two-way sharp though. Like
Word.
outside on the stage,
Right.
you know.
Like in a game.
But it worked out though. I slowed Bear down a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
you know. I brought that build out because I wanted to help Zach out because the rim sharp is a little slower. So I
Right.
moved to the 3 and moved Seam to the 4,
Mm-hmm.
help Zach out on a little bit more on defense. But we lost. I had like 17 points I think out of the corner. So
Balling, bro, knocking them shots down, and that's the
yeah,
thing too. Like when we took the L, and I was like, okay. So I watched, I was like, all right, because I don't think a lot of people was really counting on the Wolves to I mean, definitely not to get to the finals, but I don't even think to
yeah,
go as far as they did, like even to beat
yeah,
excuse me, beat us. I know people thought that they could, but BP was on a run. You know what I mean? You and Zachy was locking down. Colt was pulling down everything out the sky, you know what I mean, and setting them hard
yeah,
picks. So, I think people was pretty much banking on us. Even when I was watching the game, the announcers were talking about us. But I was like, look, when we took the L, I'm like, look, Wolves better go all the way, and they did because hey, if you're gonna lose to the guys that whooped everybody's butt, not just what I
Uh-huh.
mean yours. So.
yeah,
And shout out to Bear and the Wolves. I gave him much love on Twitter, but to see Bear, and he's such an inspiring character, and for
yeah,
him to bring in his family, you know what I mean, and bring it back to his home and really highlight his family and everything, and how people were
yeah,
counting him out. You always want to root for an underdog, and Bear is, I can tell he's a guy of high character. So shout out to the Wolves. What I mean, but we coming at your neck next year, bruh. Coming at your neck. Anyway, all right, on you, Tap. I'll leave you with the last big question.
All right, so this one's going to be a two-parter. I believe you referenced earlier. I think you're talking about. Do you say the Raptors let you go after your first season?
yeah. I was unretained. Yeah,
Okay, so
that's
then
the
you
term.
said you worked on your game and then you signed with the Kings.
Yeah.
Okay, so what exactly do you do to work on your game? I mean, you said majority of your offense is just standing in the corner shooting threes. Are you just like
hmm
practicing your timing of your jump shot, or like what do you do to work on your game in the off season or whenever?
So like everyone's different. Like point guards have the different role. They have to run the offense. My job, in the off season, I played like 3 different positions. I played small forward, power forward, center.
Okay.
So center, I would set screens, pop, read the defense. If he would play the 3-point line, I would roll. If I would, and vice versa. Power forward, I would play athletic shot creator and cut a lot, receive lobs from my point guard if he's in trouble, play defense. I'd play pure lock also, so I'd guard the best point offensive player on the other team as a guard, and then
Okay.
sit in the corner obviously and just shoot threes. So I played different positions, and that's where our coach DJ Layden, he 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 seen me like stream a lot, and he was watching my game, and he's seen me hit shots and stuff, and that's what BP needs, right? BP needed a guy that could
Uh huh.
have a have a shooter in the corner where like, okay, you know what, if I help off BP, oh, I can't help off BP, because if I help off BP, it's a 3-point shot, you know?
Yep. Automatic.
So you got to pick and choose. Exactly. You got to pick and choose, right? Do I help off BP or not? Because BP will create his shot. He's one of the best, if not the best dribbler in the league,
Yep.
right? He will create his shot, and
Yeah.
he will get some open. The question is, uh, you know, that's where BP has to work on his game, is his passing game, right?
Right.
Who to
Right.
hit at the right
Absolutely.
time and stuff. But
Yep.
nonetheless, he did hit me majority of the time at the right time, and then I would hit 67% of my shot, which is what I shot during the season.
That's so
So
crazy,
that's what I
bro.
did during the off season, is to work on my game. There's several things. And I was just prepared. The reason why I played 3 positions is because in case I had to switch positions at any time, in case something happened, or you know,
Right.
play the 3, the 4, or the 5. I want to be able to play at a high level at each position, just in case something happened.
100%. That's, I mean, it's versatility, especially even in the real, like the actual real NBA basketball. There's more versatility now than ever. So,
Exactly.
then the second part is, do you do any physical training? What kind of workouts do you do in real life, if you do any? Does your coach make you run laps if he gets mad at you?
That's a good one.
You talking about our 2K League coach?
Yeah.
DJ Layton.
No, we would just practically like hoop. Me, Seam, and DJ would play basketball. Honestly,
okay.
we just play basketball. You know, the management try to like put us through workouts and stuff. But you know, some of the guys aren't as physical. Like, you know, they're like video game players. You know, they aren't as physical as they thought they would be. So, you know, it caught them off guard and stuff. So, but I was like, I feel like me, Seam, and the coach is like the most in shape. So it's like we could definitely, you know, stick with the best. Like, I thought I was ready to play basketball against De'Aaron Fox and Buddy Hield. I'm like, let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. That's my man. Calming them boys down too.
Bring it on.
That's what I'm talking about, bro. That's why Yusuf's my dude, man. Yusuf already ready to go.
I'll beat you on the sticks and on the court. Come on.
Let's go. Hey, let's go. Hey, I was about to wear my Fox jersey this season. I was about to wear my bogey jersey. Bro, I'm about to wear my Yusuf Scarbz jersey to every game.
Damn right.
Let's go. Bro, that's what I'm talking about, man. I love the ones that are always ready to go. You know what I mean? Like, if you stay ready, you don't got to get ready. You know what I mean? Oh. All right, cool, man. I'm hyped, bro. Man, Yusuf, bro, we don't want to keep you too long. The conversation was flowing and kind of already went longer than what we originally anticipated. But, man, for everybody that don't know, follow Yusuf Scarbz. Make sure that you go to his Twitch channel. Follow him on, I don't know if you got an IG. I know you got a Twitter. Yeah. But everywhere you can, support this man. Because let me tell you, I met him first winning the hunt from the Kings Guard. So next season, if y'all paying attention to the Kings Guard and you watching the league, enter the hunt because you can win a free PS4 like I did. But I got taken to the arena like Yusuf mentioned earlier. You know what I mean? And he was just awesome, man. Just a class act. Brought me in, answered all my crazy questions. Didn't look at me funny when I was sweating my head off because I was excited and I was hot. And ever since then, man, like with coming to the chat, you know what I mean? When I'm streaming on my channel, I go to the Kings Guard. Make sure you follow the Kings Guard on Twitch. I'm in there. He's communicating with me. Zaki's cool. But, man, Yusuf is a real one. You know what I mean? And so we got to support the real ones, man, because there's only so many of us. You know what I mean? So, y'all, make sure you support Yusuf in every single way. I'm going to tell you right now, man, no matter what team you ever end up on, because just like the NBA, the NBA 2K League, you were on the Raptors before, you're on the Kings this year, but I will forever be a fan no matter where you are. I hope you stay with us, obviously. I want you here. But wherever you go, man, however things work out, just know that the Sacktown Breakdown is always going to be the #1 fan of Yusuf Scarbz, bro.
Appreciate it.
100%.
Likewise. I'm gonna be a fan of the Sacktown Breakdown, baby. Come on.
Let's go.
I'm always gonna support the supporters, man.
Man, spoken like a true real one. Tap, any closing thoughts?
No. I pretty much got everything out I wanted to get out here to Yusuf. Thank you for coming on the show. It's appreciated. You are actually our first guest of the show, right? Am I wrong?
Awesome.
No.
No, guest #1, man. Hey, we had to start off with a bang, bro. And we had to bring somebody down that was going to calm all these listeners down, calm all these haters down. So we brought the calming man himself, numero uno.
First team all defense, baby.
First team all defense. Where's Patrick Beverly at? First team all defense. First team all defense.
Get it.
Hey, I got to tell a story real quick. This was funny. So my roommate, No Casuals Allowed, a.k.a. Malik, a.k.a. Leak, he got tickets to – he's a big Lonzo Ball fan. He got tickets to Lonzo Ball's first game when it was the Lakers versus the Clippers. So I go to the Lakers game. I have we drove down there together. It was 2 Lakers fans and a Kings fan. We drove down there. I show up. I got all Kings stuff on. All King stuff. It's hilarious. We walk into our seats. I actually see Oprah Side. Oprah Side saw us, and he had on his ball jersey. So Leak said, "What's up, bro?" I go down, and we had one low seat, and we had 2 seats up high, so we rotated. I go down. All these Lakers fans, they see me. I start taking selfies. They all like start getting friendly with me, taking pictures with me. It's hilarious. But bro, right around that time, this dude Patrick Beverly rolled up to Lonzo, pushed this man on the ground, said something to him, and it said, "First team on defense." And I was like, oh my gosh. So ever since you got first team on defense, every time I see like Yusuf Scarbz, like first team on defense, I'm always thinking like, that's our Patrick Beverly right there.
No, but I was really like talking my smack to the other team every time. Me and Colt we were the trash talkers of the team.
Heck yeah, man. I was so stoked. Like every time y'all was up there talking trash, I was up, and I got my right here in front of my streaming setup to let you know it's real. I got my 2K19 with Yusuf's signature and Colt's signature. Because when I showed up, it was just Yusuf there, and then this dude Colt called and was like, "Oh, that he like I'm his favorite player," and this dude Colt came down and hung out with Yusuf and me. It was crazy, but bro, every time I'm always like looking at my 2K thing like, that's my boy right there. What y'all know about that?
Yes, sir.
All right, then, y'all. Well, hey, one more time, y'all show some love for Yusuf, and remember to follow him and everything. And there might be some content coming out here soon involving Yusuf, because I'm sure everybody wants to know. Tap was asking the questions, that y'all want to know, and I was asking a few, but everybody wants to know, how good is a professional NBA 2K player? So some players like us, we're gonna play against Yusuf here soon, and one of these days, and we're gonna find out how good is an NBA 2K player, professional, really. But until then, this is Curtis, and for my man Tap 2K and for Yusuf Scarbz, this is the Sacktown Breakdown. And thank y'all so much for watching. Make sure you join us again next week. Take care of yourselves. Peace.